see. So 31 on Free for All, we had Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retaining the tag team titles over Los Matadores, the New Day, and the Usos. It was so-so. It's still that time before New Day really becomes New Day.
This was where,
at this point.
Yeah, this was where people were starting to turn on New Day. This is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This was like when they started doing it. This is when people started chanting "New Day sucks" with the claps.
Yeah.
Day sucks, and. Best thing, Xavier Woods is on the outside and he's losing his shit like, why are you doing this? We're winning.
Yeah.
What did we do?
Next up, we had the 30-man Andre Battle Royal, which was won by the Big Show. I think everybody was pulling for the final two to be Sandow and The Miz in this one. Everyone wanted... Sandow to take away from The Miz at this point. And, we all know that Damian Sandow went on to multiple world championships and WrestleMania main events after this, so it all turned out perfectly well for him. He did. Huge ball drop on that one, in my opinion. Main show is actually pretty damn good on this, I have to say. We had the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Daniel Bryan, Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, rest in peace, R-Truth, and Stardust. Just remember the one point of the headbutt battle between Daniel Bryan and Ziggler just being pretty fucking epic. Daniel Bryan wins the Intercontinental Championship, but much like his WWE Championship reign, has to vacate the title. Sad days on that. Of Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Maybe not the best counter into an RKO, but one of the best counters into an RKO. This one, I thought it was great. The build to this one was kind of odd because I didn't like the whole will Randy Orton rejoin the Authority or will he turn on him thing. I would have had him just come in straight out of the bag going after the Authority, but it is what it is.
Orton's character,
basic Randy Orton-ness. He does, yes.
He's cerebral and he loves to play mind games and so forth. That actually it's a part of Randy Orton's character that no one talks about. That he lives for these mind games.
Because he does that again in a couple WrestleManias down the line as well. Triple H versus Sting. Very divisive, I notice. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it because it's Triple H beating Sting. It's like Sting victory isn't really do too much. A Triple H victory isn't going to do too much. It's two legends just doing their thing. More about the spectacle of seeing those two in the ring. Sure, there were a few forced moments like, DX and NWO, who are, a legit friends in real life, battling it out, and why would NWO necessarily save Sting? But it was still cool for the moment. It was for the pop. It was for the spectacle. It was Mania through and through.
And Michael's appearing out of
I ate it up.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys remember Triple H's entrance with the Terminator theme in the suit and Arnold Schwarzenegger, giving an intro.
Yeah. I thought the intro was pretty sweet on that one.
You said
a lot of entrances were awesome on this.
Sorry, what did you say?
Next up, we had.
Okay, let's move on.
Myself or Pete? Next up, we had tag team action of AJ Lee and Paige defeating the Bellas.
It was a step.
Say you will about short run times for women. This one here needed to be short because it was basically closing the book on
the
old diva mentality and welcoming in a Divas Revolution on this one. So it was not necessarily a passing of the torch. It was one era ending and the next one starting, basically. So I'm glad this one was actually a short match, especially considering who was on each team. Makes perfectly good sense.
I mean, you got a team of Hall of Famers against Paige and Asia.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. United States Championship, John Cena defeated Rusev. Wanted Rusev to win it, but John Cena's victory is great because I loved the U.S. Invitational that year. It led to some
Joe.
I think Rusev, doing a couple losses in a row to Cena kind of hurt, but he rebounded about a year and a half later finally, and then of course goes down again after that. Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt.
No. Before that,
this is the match that
before Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, he had another thing happen.
Is this the Rock segment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't sure where. I couldn't remember where that was on the card.
Yeah, that's why they cut
the Rock and Ronda
package.
Actually, pretty sweet, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it was set. It could have set up easily next year's Mania. That didn't happen, and it was 3 years later until Rousey finally had her first Mania match. But the segment, I really liked it. It's another one where you got a lot of people who didn't like it because there were a lot of people who felt the Rock was coming in to do nothing. It's like anytime the Rock comes in, he gives it his all.
Yeah.
The Rock doesn't half-ass any appearance that he does. A lot of people hated that Ronda Rousey was brought in.
Did they? I mean, a lot of people.
I know you did Mania through and through.
People hated
having a celebrity, especially one like that where. Yes, but there was a lot I saw that night that were trashing it because the celebrity involvement moment. It's like, have you never watched a WrestleMania before?
It's
like WrestleMania is all about that.
The celebrity interaction is what WrestleMania was actually built on. It's why
exactly.
the WrestleMania. It's the whole thing. The original concept of WrestleMania was the fusion of the WWF with pop culture. That's why you got the Rock and Wrestling connection.
Yes.
That's how you got Mr. T in there. How you got
Mike Tyson,
later,
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yes, that's the name I blanked on. Cyndi Lauper.
Lawrence
Taylor.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes, Liberace. Muhammad Ali, Liberace.
A lot of big names.
Floyd
a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Future 45th
Keep
president of the United States, Donald Trump. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole thing was you gotta mix it with pop culture. That's how WrestleMania. That was the original. Now it's not, and now it might not be the same. It's a little bit more of like, this is the biggest show in wrestling, and we have celebrities there. The original premise of it was it's the WWF or the wrestling industry crossing over into pop culture. That's what it was all about. That's why we have Bad Bunny at the next one, and
possibly Logan Paul.
No, I don't think Logan Paul's going to be involved at WrestleMania.
Just SmackDown.
Yeah.
Just to
yeah, hopefully.
I hope you're right.
Next up, we had Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. This is where I would have had Taker would have lost this streak, this is where I would have technically had it. I would have had Lesnar lose to Taker the year before, Bray beat Cena the year before, then Bray beat Taker this year. I loved Bray's entrance on this one. I think it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people going into this one, and I agree, it was a relief to watch because you could finally watch an Undertaker match without anxiety. You can just watch it as it is without having to worry about, is Taker going to lose on this one?
Speak of yourself. I feel that anxious about every Taker match.
And then the main event.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask you, before we go to the main event. So you would have had Bray break the streak, but having what happened, where the Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar, would you have still have had Bray Wyatt go over?
No.
Fair enough. It's because a lot of people wanted Bray Wyatt in this, but I was like, he can't.
It's the whole mentality of everyone thinking a loss means a burial. Well, yet again, after this, people were like, there's no reason that Taker should have won. It makes sense for him to win because it's a rebound from the year before.
Yeah, exactly.
Bray, even to this day, sure, Bray has been mishandled over the years. A loss to the Undertaker isn't gonna hurt Bray Wyatt.
Not at all.
It didn't hurt Bray Wyatt because 2015 he had a fantastic program with Roman Reigns, a program that showed that Roman Reigns could work. Bray Wyatt didn't get hurt from this, and still to this day people say that Bray Wyatt has been buried over the years. It's like, for fuck's sakes, the dude closes Raw. He has been a 3-time world champion now. Yes, he has been mishandled for certain angles, but he's not buried. The dude is not a jobber or anything.
He is presented as a main event player. He's not.
Yes, exactly. And losing to The Undertaker did not start that. Even losing to John Cena didn't start that. But a lot of people said that Taker should have lost.
The second loss to Cena was unnecessary, but
was. A lot of people wanted Taker to be, I'm not sure if you guys had seen this, but a lot of people wanted Taker to go on a Mania losing streak.
Oh,
you guys see? There was quite a few people online who wanted Taker, after the loss to Lesnar, to lose for like 3 Manias in a row and then finally win his last Mania. I was not on board with that at all.
No, that sounds awful.
It does.
That's a car wreck.
I mean,
I have an idea.
I would love it for anyone else, honestly, but it doesn't fit The Undertaker. It's because
no,
exactly.
You gotta understand that. Also, that's not how streaks work. You don't just keep winning and then just start losing and losing and losing.
Yeah.
And losing.
If we're talking about losing streak, ask Kurt Hawkins. He knows a few things about them.
Yeah, but it's this gimmick. It's the idea that you're waiting for that next win.
Yeah.
If it's Undertaker, and let's be honest, you don't know when his last WrestleMania is going to be. It could be the next one. At that It's pretty hard, to book that thing. You should. If he's coming once a year, you should book it match by match. You cannot.
Yeah.
You can't have that long time storytelling if you don't know, because now after watching the last ride, apparently after WrestleMania 30, every WrestleMania could have been his last one.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. But
the main event we had.
No, I'm just gonna say that, given what happened, it's like how that story was booked, And there was no conceivable way where you would have Bray Wyatt win that match. It had to be the Undertaker.
Yeah, because it was your traditional Taker battle where he's very like
he's coming back from exile.
Yes, it was. Yes, and especially the build of Bray Wyatt, building the casket and everything, and all those video packages that they had.
Yeah.
It was, very mid 90s of Taker having to go through Monster. It was your traditional Taker tale. Taker needed the victory here. In the main event, it was supposed to be Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Then we had one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the way I had kind of envisioned a Money in the Bank cash-in to happen at some point. I was thinking it was going to be more along the lines of in the ladder match, having Rollins come in during the match, cash in, and win the WWE Championship. It was amazing because he had been on a year-long hot streak. Shield turns face a year prior. Like 2 months, they're the hottest face act besides Daniel Bryan. He turns heel, wins Money in the Bank. He pretty much becomes the top heel without having to hold the championship. And then cashing in on the biggest show of the year was epic. It was an ingenious way of doing it. You get that shot of pretty much old school Ring of Honor Rollins, swinging the belt on the top of the ramp.
Yeah,
I fucking loved every second of. As soon as he entered the ring, it was on the edge of my seat, sweaty palms, hoping this is going to happen. You get that a lot of times when you get Money in the Bank cash-ins, especially if you really want that guy to cash in and win it.
You don't know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if it doesn't, kind of like it, say, you'll see this past year when Miz originally cashed in, it can take you out. You can just be like, oh shit, it's like that happened. But for Rollins, it worked out, and I'm sure we'll do some stuff on Money in the Bank in a month, 2 months. But I think this is one of, if not the best cash-ins, at least for me, top 3. Fantastic way to close the show. Very enjoyable WrestleMania, much like the year before. It doesn't feel overstuffed. Great pacing. What did you guys think of 31?
Go ahead, Pete.
You want to go first, Mal?
No, you go first, sir.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, well, before I start talking about this one, I need to change this chair, man. It's not very comfortable. Hold on a sec.
Okay. He's gonna...
Behind the scenes.
I see what you did. Nice. Mine is actually, you see that...
much better. I had that bit in my head last night. I was like, I'm going to do that.
Well done.
Nice. I wish I could do that.
Wow.
But mine is
WrestleMania
all
31.
wrapped up under that shield over there. Awesome.
I've got him on standby. I was like, I'll go do that.
Let's see how much you're going to sit in there.
The best WrestleMania for me. I've got 2 others over there, so I won't be in too long. For me, this was the best WrestleMania for me. I must have watched this WrestleMania 50 times. When I first started watching it, I get it, Mel. I totally get it. I was fixated with myself. I was like, when I was there and I'm watching it at home, and I kept seeing myself go, looking at the Titantron, seeing if the camera was on me, and I'd be like, and then you just do some sort of over the top reaction, like, stuff like that, just to say, oh, look at that guy. I had my Wolves top on as well. I even got put on the Wolves website. Wolves fan representing at WrestleMania.
Oh,
Got
really?
called out on
Nice.
there, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah,
Hey, send us. Send me that article. We gotta link it in.
yeah. I'll see if I can find it. It's a long time ago. Fantastic card as well. Fucking hell, what a great card this was. Like I said, I've watched it at least 50 times. I'm not exaggerating there. I could go and watch it now and still mark out of a lot of moments on this. I'll just go straight onto the main card. That ladder match paved the way for intercontinental ladder matches at WrestleMania. It was the first one, like a multi-man one. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved all of the entrances. I was a big Stardust fan at the time. Don't hate me on it.
I like it too.
The Stardust was cool.
Oh, good. I wanted Luke Harper to win this one because I was a massive Wyatt family fan. So I thought, get him the belt. That'd be awesome.
That needs the beard, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it does. It does. That bit at the end, Joe, where there was on that ladder, headbutt. I couldn't call it at that point. I was like, this is anyone's shot. And then when Ziggler fell off that ladder and hit the deck, I was like, oh man, what an opening match. That got me like hyped. I was ready for this WrestleMania. The next one, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, J&J Security. How can anyone forget them? Those guys were such a barrel of laughs. They gave us some good times, man. That RKO, like I say, it wasn't the best RKO, but it was definitely up there. And I do remember an interview. It was either with Seth or Orton. They said they never they rehearsed this and they never hit it in rehearsals. They couldn't. They didn't. So when it come to the match to get it right, it was like I think that's why Orton had like that massive overreaction. Sort of like he was like, holy shit, it worked. But fantastic to get flicked up in the air off back of someone's neck and hit that. Wow.
Yeah.
Triple H Sting. If you're around the age of 30 right now, this was right up your alley, this match, because it had nostalgia. Seeing Sting in the WWE ring for the very first time. Triple H's entrance blown out the water. It was out of this world. Sting's entrance was all right. I didn't understand with like the Chinese doing the with their instruments. I don't quite understand what reference that is to Sting, but it was still cool. But Triple H's entrance, wow.
The idea is that Sting was pretty big in Japan, and that's where we got.
I just thought it's cool, but I don't get the reference.
Yeah, it's a very obscure reference that's not that wasn't relevant to the character they had at that point.
Yeah. But that Triple H entrance, I get that was just promoting a new Terminator film, but it was fucking awesome. Hairs standing on the back of my neck for that. The match was well paced, considering they was both getting on. But when you look at it as a whole, I got NWO, I got DX. We even got Shawn Michaels at the end of that super kick. When we got DX and NWO, I was like, jaw to the floor. I was like, fuck, that is incredible. I can't believe I've just seen these guys. And then Shawn Michaels, and then Shawn Michaels was a super kick. I didn't even see him get in the ring. I was just too busy fixated on everyone else. And then I turned around, fuck, it's Shawn Michaels super kick. And then he just sort of like give him the nod and went. But wow, there's no downtime in this WrestleMania. For everything was like, shit, this is amazing stuff. AJ Lee Paige, fantastic to beat the Bella Twins. I'd never been a big fan of those. Obviously, from being UK, I was a massive Paige fan. So for her to be at WrestleMania and me seeing it, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. John Cena and Rusev, again, another fantastic entrance from Rusev in that tank. That was awesome.
Yes.
And then later on, he admitted that he had sex with Lana in it, but that's another story for another time.
He claimed that he had it. He didn't. I don't believe him, honestly.
See, I wanted Rusev to win because everyone was high on Rusev, undefeated, blah, blah, blah. The bit with Lana on the apron when she, like a last-ditch attempt, she's throwing the shoes at the referee.
Honestly, who throws a shoe?
Exactly. But, Cena's got to get his moment in, Can't let young talent get over on John Cena at WrestleMania. So I get that. But like you said, Joe, we got some fantastic US Open challenges on Raw. Fantastic. But on the whole, it was a good match. Now, this one, Bray Wyatt was my guy. He couldn't do anything wrong, But then you got Undertaker returning. Bray Wyatt built this feud over the majority of the year without Undertaker even stepping in a ring. And I was so hyped for it. Like, I think it was a Raw in Manchester where he had the rocking chair in the ring and then you heard the gongs. And I thought, oh shit, Taker's at Manchester. But then the chair got hit with a lightning bolt and the chair was on fire and then Bray Wyatt was just laughing at it all. I was like, the build-up for this is fantastic. But one man built this match off his own back. I was like, wow, this man could sell ice to an Eskimo. He's just incredible on the mic.
So, hot seat here, Pete. Who did you want to win?
Yep. I couldn't call it. I wanted Bray Wyatt, and then I wanted them both to win, if that was possible. But, I was like, Bray Wyatt's my man. Oh, he's going to beat The Undertaker. But there was back and forth exchange, and I couldn't call it. I was like, nah, it's Taker. Taker's got this one. Oh, shit, now Bray Wyatt. It was just... But, looking at it now, all these years later, the right man did win because he needed that win. Taker did after the loss to Brock. If he hadn't lost to Brock, I could have given Bray Wyatt that one. If he didn't lose, if he beat Brock Lesnar, I'd have given Bray Wyatt that win, personally. If he had to lose one, that's how I'd have played it. But 2 in a row, looking out now, I'm like, yeah, you can't do that to Taker. So I understand that. But at the time, I was just on cloud nine with Bray Wyatt, and I was like, this man is incredible. And then this main event, the heist of the century, as Michael Cole said, the heist of the century. I didn't like Brock Lesnar. I wasn't hot on Roman Reigns either, as I'm sure most people weren't. So going into this match, I was like, we've had our matches. We've had our Undertaker match. I've seen Bray Wyatt, and with his awesome entrance as well. And I was like, I don't give a shit who wins this. I don't like either of them. So, we'll watch it and we'll take it for what it is. And then you hear that music hit, and then he runs down the ring, and you're like, oh my God. Nobody saw that coming. I never seen that on a dirt sheet, or a spoiler, nothing. I heard absolutely nothing about this.
Like, a lot of us were expecting him to cash in after the match, but during the match, it's a work of genius.
To make it a triple threat, it was like, whoa, okay, this is different. But for him to show up, I was like, holy shit, something could happen here. And then when he does what he does and walks out of there with that belt, oh my God, I've never felt so high in my life off wrestling. That was a what the fuck moment, but it was incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed this WrestleMania. It was one of my favourites, especially to attend. So yeah, Mal, pass it on to you.
Yeah, it was a good WrestleMania, I guess.
It was alright.
Yeah. Anyway, no. Honestly, I would say like there is an argument can be made that this could be the best WrestleMania of all time, if not one of. I mean, no, one of, if not
agreed.
One of, if not the. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I distract the hell out of myself every time I watch this WrestleMania. I'm like, huh? I try to be in this match, and then I'll be like, sit down, you idiot. Like, what the...
Look at you mark.
Yeah. Well, I remember, during the pre-show, during the Andre Battle Royal, I was pretty much the only person in my area that was cheering The Miz. Like, everyone was like, let's go Miz down, and they'd say, let's go Miz down. I'd go in and say, and Miz, let's go Miz down. And they were like, well, I guess, you don't want Mizdow to win, because if he eliminates Miz now, he's going to be there with the Big Show. And, again, Sandow would have been a good option, but I think for it to be, in order to legitimize the Andre the Giant WrestleMania Cup, you needed a big man, or like a legit main event big man, to win it at least once, and that was the Big Show. So I think And honestly, to be honest with you guys, I would have had him win it another year. Like, not necessarily 32, maybe 33 or 34. But, just to build it up. And main show, I remember, like, starting off with Daniel Bryan is awesome. It's a great, it's a way to get you hyped up because you start doing the yes chants. You're happy. You're at WrestleMania. The sun is beating down on you, but you don't care that much. God, it was hot in there that day.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I remember because I had a hat on when I took it off when I got back to the hotel. I had a white line right here.
Yeah.
I was as red as that.
Yeah, and it was the day I forgot to take my sunglasses to the WrestleMania, so I was like, and I had been accustomed to sunglasses for so long, so I was like, it took me a while. And they didn't have, that, like, the roof above the ring was transparent for some reason, so no protection from the sun whatsoever.
Yeah.
And out.
I was glad that it got dusk. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. When what?
I was just saying, I was glad the sun was going down before Taker's entrance because I couldn't picture an Undertaker entrance in the daylight.
Yeah. It's
like when that Triple H Rock thing, it was like you could see the sun. It was just about to go below the stadium. And then when Taker's came out, it was just dusk enough to make it look dark.
Yeah.
But I was genuinely worried about that because I was like, Undertaker entrance WrestleMania in the light.
Rumors.
So the timing was great. But
rumors were going around that actually WWE management was worried about that too. They were.
Oh wow! Not just me then.
Yeah, no, everyone was worried. I would have, and I was thinking, well, maybe have Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt go on last. And I don't know, it might have been good, but he needed, like, and me speaking as an Undertaker mark, I would have been happy if Undertaker had gone on last. But I think WrestleMania 31 needed the last image to be Seth Rollins holding the WWE Championship on that stage. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't book. You can't have another ending to the show other than that. But it was nice that the Undertaker, the whole match took place during dusk. Like it didn't even get fully dark even after Undertaker won it.
Yeah, it was just enough.
Yeah. It was also a unique ambience that you're never going to see again for an Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's that where it's half dark. It's between day and. I remember Dean Ambrose coming out with sunglasses. And he tossed it to the guy, and I was like, man, he's out here and he's wearing a leather jacket. What the hell?
Side note, that jacket that he wore?
Yeah.
There's a page on Facebook called Signed by Superstars, and he's actually selling that jacket signed by Dean Ambrose at the moment.
Nice.
He wants $3,000 for it.
Well, I hope.
If you got the money, I suppose it's worth it. But I seen it the other day.
Is it though?
I was like, oh shit, that's cool as fuck.
Like,
yeah, he's got pictures of him signing it and everything. It's got
$3,000.
It's all above board.
$3,000 is a lot. I mean, whoever has the money.
Plus, if you start wearing the jacket, you might, start becoming kind of a half-assed talent as well. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Besides, does he? You have his Sean Moxley now.
Yeah.
And the match was good. Like I remember, he went crashing into the table that was set up right in front of us. We were worried, and the table snapped in half. Sorry, did I say table? Ladder. And the ladder snapped in half, and you could tell then that these ladders that break are actually wooden. They're not.
Oh.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't know that.
I mean, steel bends. It doesn't break that easily. It's like, unless
if there was aluminium, it would bend.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you have an adamantium claw or a good samurai sword, but it still hurts as hell. It doesn't take away from what they're doing. Excuse me. And yeah, it's a great match. Daniel Bryan wins. That's great, and it's also one of those things that are inside baseball that you get accustomed to once you go to a number of shows live, is that you see the superstars standing there watching the Titantron with you because they want to know when the camera's going to cut back to them. You can see it caught in camera sometimes where they show the superstar watching and then he sees himself and then goes back to celebration. That was Daniel Bryan on top of the lap.
Yeah.
He was looking towards the screen, watching the replay. Okay. Oh, they cut back to me. Let's do this. And great match. Let's see what we had on next. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Orton's entrance was great. I remember it wasn't anything fancy, but it's just Orton just has that star quality about him. He comes up and I took a picture of him. I don't know if I can find it or not. Like with him, doing the whole, doing the pose on the corner, and the sun is beating up on him. He looks like a superstar. He looks like a Greek statue. When he does.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, a lot of us, Seth Rollins was in this match. A lot of people were cheering him, but we were saying, like, you know what? Hey, Seth, save your strength for the cash-in tonight. It's kind of weird because usually, like, when Edge started this whole cash-in thing, it would be in the back of your mind, but I think in the 2010s, like afterwards, it became a very prominent thing. And ever since I think Ziggler cashed it in, it became a prominent thing in your mind, like in the forefront, where, oh, this guy can cash in tonight.
Yeah.
It's a big shit. And so Seth goes on, like, I'm gonna ask you guys something because I genuinely cannot remember. Is Seth the first male superstar is the last guy to keep the briefcase all the way up to WrestleMania? I think everyone else cashed in earlier, right? Afterwards.
Guy won in 2015.
Dean Ambrose cashed in the same night.
Ambrose cashed in the same night.
2016. Remember who it was. 2016 Baron Corbin? No.
2017 was Baron Corbin.
Yeah, and he cashed in before SummerSlam.
2016 was Dean Ambrose. 2015
was Dean Ambrose. You're right. Who was 2015?
2015
was it Kane?
No.
Kane must know.
That was 2010.
Wait, wasn't John Cena?
Wow.
Cena won it in 2012.
Damn, how?
Yes, 2012.
Yeah. How are we not remembering?
2015 was
it Sandow?
No, Sandow.
No, that was. 2013. Who was 2015?
Okay, Money in the Bank 2015. Oh god, that was Sheamus.
Oh yeah, yep. So he cashed in at Survivor Series.
2015, Dean Ambrose same night. 2015 Baron Corbin right before SummerSlam. 2018.
2018 was. 2018. It was 2018. 2019 was Otis, who lost it to The Miz, and Miz didn't do it before Mania.
2019 was Brock Lesnar.
2020, yes.
Yeah.
2020, and he cashed it in after. 2018 was.
Yeah, we all know.
Oh yeah, so
no one could remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Seth was the last one to take it to Mania.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's it's kind of nice to have Manias afterwards without the Money in the Bank looming because it's an extra factor to think about, I guess.
Yeah.
But it adds.
Yeah.
The RKO was magnificent. And even Seth says this, Pete, that Orton celebrated too much because he was so excited that they actually hit it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Triple H versus Sting. Triple H likes to, if he's not in the main event, be right in the middle of that show so he can get the crowd while they're still hot. Great entrances. It's a great match, as you can say. I am apparently prominent in this match. People keep seeing me a lot because. You okay there, buddy?
Yes.
Because this is the match I got a lot of texts on that we can see it clearly now. What are you doing, man? And the one thing I didn't like about this match was Sting and Triple H shaking hands after.
It was done though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a one and done.
It was a one and done thing, but it's still the dude hit you with a sledgehammer to win. It's not like you guys had an honorable fight. Or you shake him because he was because he was the better man. It's anyway.
It's still fun though.
Yeah, no, it's still fun. I didn't say it wasn't fun. It's just a little there are small nitpicks that drive me crazy. That's why.
We've all got them.
If I wanted to, crap all over this match, I would say, why would the NWO save Sting? But that's another thing.
Another discussion for another day.
Yeah. I remember AJ Lee and Paige versus the Both Twins. I was just so happy. Even though I am not from the UK, I was a huge Paige fan.
Yeah.
Just. Wanted to make it clear that it's not a monopoly on the fandom of.
No. Well, I know how it is with NXT UK. It all seems like, it's from UK, so he has to love it.
Yeah. And I loved AJ Lee, and I remember I actually shut down a segment of fans that were close by that were trying to start a CM Punk chant, and I just turned around and said, "No, we're not doing that. No, we are just."
I have spoken.
Yeah, and then a lot of people, afterwards smartly started modifying the chant to AJ Lee instead of CM Punk. So people don't see CM Punk, and they would say AJ Lee, AJ Lee. Now the next night was something completely different, but we'll get there. Cena and Rusev, I also wanted Rusev to win because I could see an upside in Rusev because I had grew a liking to Rusev since day one in NXT when he was still the Bulgarian Beauty. He would break those boards with the opponent's name on his knees, stuff. And the tank was amazing. Fun little story here. How did you get home after WrestleMania, Pete? Back to that. Did you take the
on the tank?
No, you. How did? I'm pretty sure you didn't use the tank. Did you use the?
No.
Did you take the train back or?
Oh no, coach. I was on coach. It was part of the package.
Yeah, the coach, the Amtrak thing. Yeah, right. The train.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the train. I rode in the train. A lot of wrestling fans, so we're talking and everything. And these two guys, also British, were talking about the match, and one of them was teasing the other. He kept saying he missed the tank because he went to the just driving it in here the whole way back. But I loved it. I remember there's this part that they cut out of the network or the DVD. I can't remember. They cut it out of one of them, where Cena's entrance. They had all these presidential speeches coming in, and when George W. Bush came on, he got booed. He got almost booed out of the stadium. So they just I think that's why they cut that part out. And then Triple H and Stephanie came out, and you were wondering, okay, this should be something big. And if you remember, Ronda Rousey was there the whole show. She didn't just go ringside for that particular segment. She was there from the beginning of the show.
Oh, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, her and the 4 horsewomen of the UFC, that are now in the WWE.
Yeah.
And when The Rock came out, everyone lost their mind because it was unexpected. B, if you guys remember, the night before WrestleMania, he was hosting Saturday Night Live in New York.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
So you were like, well, he's not, New York, Los Angeles. he's not going to be here. Anyway. Great match, great moment. I think justifying Triple H winning the Sting match is because he knew he was going to come out later and have this moment with The Rock. It might have been, or it might have just been, WWE's better than WCW. Whatever.
Yeah. I was just shocked that Triple H came back out.
Yeah.
Because he got battered in that match.
It was strange.
It was physical.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you've had a show, you've got changed, and you're coming out for another segment. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop
you
from taking the spotlight.
No.
Yeah. Great segment. Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. It was, again, it never gets old seeing the Undertaker come to the ring for me. It's always, a goosebumps moment. I always love it. I'm looking at the timing of this match. 15 minutes, 12 seconds is actually longer than I remember. I thought it was 10 minutes or so. It's an amazing to have his entrance come out. I mean, when he took out the jacket, he looked much better than he did the year before.
Agreed.
A little more buff. He looked a little, more physically shaped, more able to walk around. And I remember actually during his entrance, I stood on the chair, and I did the whole thing with him. The raise the arms, and then just as I'm coming down, the security guard is coming over to the fence, and he's just pointing at me. And I'm like, "That's not gonna happen again. Don't worry. We're sitting down now.
Sit down.
sitting down now. Don't worry about it." And I just love this match. I just love it because it's the first time I see The Undertaker win a match while live and in person. It's also great to see him come back. It's that moment where, Bray does the spider walk and Undertaker just sits up. That's iconic. It's an iconic visual. It's great, it is match of the night for me. It's probably not the best match on this thing. That could have been Orton and Seth or something, but it is my match of the night because I got all what I wanted out of it. And then the main event came around. I was kind of spent, but we'll just go with it. Reigns and Brock Lesnar come out. I remember they fudged up Reigns' entrance where he punched the ring and the fireworks had a little bit of a delay. Fixed it impossible. Yeah. And the one thing I remember that irked me was I did not like Reigns laughing through the punishment he was taking from Brock Lesnar. It felt It felt forced. It wasn't an earned character moment for him. It's not like, this guy thrives on pain or anything, or he's coming back. It's like he kept laughing and he never mounted that comeback that he should have mounted, if someone's that confident about being beat up.
Yeah.
And Seth's cash-in is honestly, it should be it's in top 3. It's in at least the top 3 cash-ins of all time, I think.
Yeah.
It's number 1 being Edge the first time and Ziggler the second time. Yeah.
Mine would be Edge number 1 is in 2010, and then this.
2010, yeah. So it's an amazing shot. It's an amazing thing because a lot of people did not care for Reigns that much. He was pushed too fast. A lot of people said Reigns is not ready, and I guess a lot of people didn't want Lesnar to retain as well. So Seth was, the perfect guy for it. And that was an amazing WrestleMania. Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Mudshow Drive-In. If you liked that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the Drive-In. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Mudshow Drive-In. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.